Paranormal's Army, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, rocking around the Christmas tree, rewatching Home Alone for the 1000th time, and it is the debut of Paranormal's Frightmare Before Christmas. For the month of December, we are replaying the best and scariest Paranormal's episodes every single day of the month with a few surprises to keep things interesting for you guys. We've gained a lot of new subscribers lately, so to help catch up on our old videos, our 2-part videos will be condensed into one video. Secondly, we will be giving 2 prizes of $500 away to the 2 people who find the Spirit Tech logo hidden in 2 of the videos throughout the month. This is not 2 Spirit Tech logos per video, it's 2 Spirit Tech logos in the entire month of December. And if the same person finds both, that person will win $1,000. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what's in it for Johnny and Jordan? And to be honest with you guys, we have hit another crossroads with the channel.
Most of you that are watching have no idea how YouTube works. At the end of the day, we're really not doing this for any other reason besides the fact that we want to study our analytics for the entire month and decide if it's worth it for us to do this again full time. And we're hoping that you guys as our viewers and our family and everybody that's been there from day one will understand that we're trying to connect with new people. Our analytics reached out to you and you're the community we have now, but there's a huge potential of people that just don't know who we are, that if we post every single day at 6 p.m., we might reach more people, and that's kind of the gain that we want to try and reach.
As you guys have seen, we haven't been very active on the channel this year because over a year ago, we went all in on the channel, chasing a dream, and we completely crashed, burned, and failed miserably despite posting regularly. And we're still recovering from that. Our lives suffered greatly, our relationship with each other suffered greatly, and this is what eventually led to me leaving the channel. We really want to do the channel full time again, but we also need to know that it's worth it for us financially to do so. The best month for YouTubers financially is December in terms of ad revenue and everything. So what we need you guys to do is hang out with us every single day at 6 p.m. Central Time in the live premieres and rewatch these old videos for us, because if we get the support from you guys, we know that this is something that we are able to pursue at this point of our lives. And I know we see in the comments that a lot of you guys think that we're rich YouTubers and we're just being lazy, but that's not the case at all. In fact, most of the videos that you guys have already seen from last year that we're going to be replaying this month, they barely made any money at all when they came out. So if this month goes really well for us, we'll know that this is worth it. And if it goes really well for us, what you guys get in return is a ton of brand new Paranormal's episodes, because we'll have the funds from this month to do so. So if you want to see a ton of brand new Paranormal's episodes in 2023 and have the chance to potentially win $1,000, tune in every day at 6 p.m. Central Time to hang out with us and try your luck. Thanks again for everybody in the Paranormal's Army for continuing to support us, and good luck. Back in January, a longtime viewer and friend of the channel, Renee, told us an interesting story about a church located on Highway 75 in southern Manitoba. The Union Point Church was built in 1887 and lies just south of St. Agatha, Manitoba. It's only 20 minutes north of St. Elizabeth, the site of Hangman's Church, the last church we investigated. It's a standalone building that was once part of a thriving town in the early 20th century. Most Manitobans have seen this church on their way to the North Dakota border to enter the United States, and it stands out because it actually sits between the northbound and southbound lanes. Union Point was a rapidly growing town that, as well as the church, had a school, a post office, a hall, a hotel, and of course a handful of houses. It was a prime docking point for steamboats in the early 1900s due to a large sandbar in the Red River. But as railways expanded and trains became the more popular mode of travel, Union Point saw less and less travelers and cargo come through its docks, and it began to spell the end for this once bustling little town. The date that Union Point officially became a ghost town is unclear, but the current owner Scott Parker estimates that the town was still thriving until sometime between the late 20s or early 30s. The church burned down for unknown reasons in 1939 and was rebuilt the following year in 1940. Despite the heavily diminished population, church services were held here until the 1960s. In the 1980s, Highway 75 was split into northbound and southbound lanes. The rest of the town was demolished, but the church was saved from demolition due to the adjacent graveyard. Restricted from paving over the cemetery, the road workers simply paved around it. In 1997, the church's foundation was overrun with floodwater during Manitoba's historic flood of 1997. This once again put the church at risk from being torn down, but it was once again saved by local residents bound and determined on preserving this piece of Manitoba's history. And once again, they succeeded. In 2005, the United Church of Canada sold the building to a local group of residents for $1. These residents maintain the church and its grounds to this day. Scott Parker is the current owner of the church. He says the church is still used for weddings and occasionally as shelter by weary travelers. Our source Renee told us the tragic story of one such weary traveler. A man who was stranded out in the harsh Manitoba winter entered the church in a last-ditch effort to escape the cold, but since the church had already been abandoned, there was no heat. The man didn't last the night, and he died of hypothermia. Renee has heard and tells us that you can still sometimes see the shadow of a man in the window while passing the church on the highway. Of course, this could all be a rumor, but recently a viewer named Cole told us a very similar and very creepy story. Cole was snowmobiling in the ditch next to the northbound lane of Highway 75 in January 2014. He slowed down as he neared the church and noticed what looked to be the face of a man in the window, and Cole said it appeared that he wasn't wearing any clothes. People that die of hypothermia are often found naked. This is a phenomenon called paradoxal undressing. People in this state are often delirious and think that they're absolutely burning up when they're merely moments away from freezing to death. Cole entered the church to see if this man needed help, but when he opened the door, there was nobody inside. As paranormal investigators, we of course found this tragic story extremely interesting, but also as Manitobans, we wanted to visit this church to pay respects to this relic of our history. We decided to visit the Union Point Church. All right.
Okay, don't get too spooked on here.
All right, I'm turning the Ovilus on. Okay. All right, I'm here to make contact with somebody that I had heard lost their life in this building that died of hypothermia. My name is Jordan. I'm just here to ask you some questions. I heard noise over there. Is what I heard true that you lost your life in this building to hypothermia? You can use the Ovilus to communicate, or you can touch that device over there. It's lit up green right now. You can make it light up to red just by touching it.
Oh, yeah. It said yeah. Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Whoa.
Tell me what your name is, please.
That looked really close to me. Oh my God. This is just the ground. Oh, hello. That looks very close to me. That's a graveyard over there.
Volume of my phone.
Oh, that's creepy. That freaks me out.
What were you doing when you were stranded?
Right at the doorstep, apparently. It was possible that he passed away near the doorstep.
You not want to talk now? It said leave. Why do you want me to leave? I'm only here to talk. Can you tell me what you were doing? Flat. Okay. Well, you had a flat tire?
This outhouse is terrifying.
What kind of vehicle were you driving? Whoa.
This outhouse is terrifying.
What kind of vehicle were you driving? Whoa.
When that door shut, it freaked me out at first because I had already been getting like really good responses on the Ovilus.
It's weird to me that I didn't hear the door close when I was outside the church. And when I came back in and Jordan said that it did close and he felt like it was a draft, I don't feel that way.
I had dismissed it as just a draft because both doors were open at the time.
I don't think it was a draft, especially with all the activity that was going on in that same corner of the building later on.
Why did you make that door close? Ooh, that's Johnny. Who? Johnny, my partner. He was in here earlier.
Man, it's freezing out there.
Dude, that door closed on its own, and this thing's been giving me freaky
Say that
responses.
again? I didn't hear you say. What did you say?
I said that door closed on its own, and this thing's been giving me freaky responses.
Really?
Yeah. Because I asked if the stories were true,
What? Oh, yeah.
and it
yeah,
said
yeah.
yeah.
It said yeah?
And then it told me to leave.
You think there's wind?
Was that door open, the other door?
No. What did that say?
One? It said one.
I don't know. This one was open. Yeah, this one was open.
It could have been a draft then. Usually it's a
That's
draft.
weird. I got one thing when I was standing right outside looking at the graveyard. It was like standing right in front of me. It was like.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it was pointed right at the grass. So it wasn't picking up any like headstones or trees. It was literally grass. Because all I can see out there with this thing is good grass. I can't really see much of this.
Haunting.
Haunting?
Can you please tell me your name?
Whoa.
Did you get?
That's gotta be.
Oh, that looks like it's just the
That's
window.
the window, yeah. Fuck, that's
That's a
scary.
weird shape though.
Sorry to any viewers if the profanity in a church bothers you, but when things like that you see, it is kind of freaky. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay. That was loud.
That was
Was
a
that
loud
you?
creaky
Why?
thing.
But it-
That was no, 100%. Can Can you tell me your name, please?
We heard a loud bang towards the beginning of the night from the other side of the church, and it's kind of weird thinking about it now because I can't recall a single time where we heard that same noise anywhere else in the night.
My name is Johnny, and this is Jordan. Can you say our names? We just want to know if we're out here talking to the person who supposedly froze to death, or are we even talking to him at all?
This is a very old building too.
Like,
Peter, is that your
Peter.
name? Peter. Okay.
Normally we don't introduce ourselves to the spirits, but we did it this time because a few of our viewers suggested that it might be helpful. Earlier on in the night, I asked many times, "What is your name? Can you please give me a name?" And finally, I felt almost relieved that we got a name. It was Peter.
But
was your name Peter?
it is a common name, especially if this was like decades ago. Yeah, a very common name.
Peter, if you're here, give us something. I know you made a couple of noises around here, but I mean, look at this church. That's not a lot for us to go off of. Unless the door closed, was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, there's like
Whoa.
you.
That sounded really creepy the way it said that.
It said you, and I heard like creaking noises from here.
Yeah, I heard it too. That gave me a really uncomfortable feeling. Like sick
we heard
feeling in
creaking
my,
noises.
Sick feeling in my stomach right now.
Creaking noises from the entrance, and it said you.
Oh, I don't
It
like
said
what
leave earlier, so I'm wondering if it's trying to like lead us out. Industry? Are you trying to?
What kind of, maybe he was in for his line of work, industry?
Maybe.
Can you be more specific if that it means anything? That gave me a really gross feeling. I don't know why. I know it wasn't really that crazy, but
That it was creepy.
oh, because it happens at the exact same time. What is that?
Befriend.
See, that's when it starts to creep me out. It's like, is that? Why would a spirit say something like that?
Hearing the word befriend come through freaked me out a lot more than Jordan. And the reason behind that is because I feel like it's an inviting word. If it asks if it can befriend you and you say yes, that's to me the initial start of something following you home.
It's the word that here says, I'm too cold. That's so weird.
Sleeping.
How's my stomach? It's,
What was that?
how was that?
Bye.
It sounded like a squeak of a door hinge or something.
That sounded like a door handle opening. It's,
What was that?
how was that?
Bye.
It sounded like a squeak of a door hinge or something.
That sounded like a door handle opening. Like, here, let me just try and do this. It sounded like this. Holy smokes, dude, that's really freaking me out.
Open the door.
Oh man, really? My stomach is hurting.
See if there's something behind it.
Oh God, man.
Peter, is that you? Nothing?
But it really freaky. That's what it sounded like.
That was the sound.
That's a door handle.
Yeah.
You have to turn it all the way this way.
Look, here, show me.
You have to go all the way.
And that was exactly the sound we heard.
That's a stiff door handle.
All right.
Great.
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 Yeah, great.
Why? But the other thing was coming from that area too. I can't even talk. The other noise came from that area too. Mm-hmm. When we got really freaked out. I think I said you.
Yeah, that's where we heard the floorboards creaking.
Unlock.
Unlock, it says.
What?
It said unlock.
What? We're just talking about a door handle?
Yeah.
Oh man,
door
this
handle
place is
is
getting
unlocked.
really, really, really intense. If anybody's coming, like, oh man, it's just freaky. It's like, cause there's like something like, oh, graveyards, man.
Jackson.
Jackson?
At this point in the night, the name Jackson seemed very insignificant, but at the end of the night, and you'll see that this might be the craziest thing that we've ever got on the Ovilus.
Peter or another first name could be Jackson.
Yeah.
It's not a very common name around here.
No.
Maybe he was trying to drive down to Jacksonville? A Jackson? Is there a Jackson?
There's a lot of Jacksons, yeah, especially in the U.S.
That.
That.
Let me get the SLS going one more time here. If there's anybody over there that wants to come through that door, we'd be glad to have you. Terry.
Terry. I was just spitting off a bunch of names.
Spending some more time towards the entrance of the church was really interesting because it seemed like something was trying to pull us towards the door.
Maybe, what if we put the K2 over there, see if we got
Let's do
anything.
that. There's something about that side of the room.
Oh, it's like a little
A spike?
spike.
How?
Went up to yellow. Right out here.
That's impossible in this building. That is 100% impossible. I mean, it's been impossible pretty much everywhere we've been, but
Spiking. Getting close to the door and it's spiking.
no way. No way. See if I can catch something while you're in there. Because it's you.
Incubus.
Incubus?
Incubus. As you walked in that doorway.
I mean, it's not spiking crazy, but it's gone up to yellow. It was doing nothing. Absolutely nothing on the other end of the church.
Here, hang on.
I'm here by myself now.
Oh, wow.
What'd you say?
It's picking something up. Come in here and look at this.
Come on.
Come in here, quick. Okay, so I've been shining it to this window and the other window. It won't do it on that window, only this one. Look,
Why would that be?
if I shine it to that window, the light on that window, it won't pick it up. The light's shining on that window. It's not even shining on the window that's over there. Because I'm trying to debunk it here. Go to that window. It should go to that window. What's it keep reaching for on the ceiling? That's arms, legs, that's everything.
It's gotta be the window though, somehow. Peter? Did I say Peter again?
It's very uncommon for the Ovilus to say the same word 2 times. So when it said Peter again, that really kind of blew my mind. And we've had this Ovilus on several times for hours on end, and this has never happened to us.
Major? Dude, it's focusing on that window. The camera's focusing on that window.
Look at that.
It's auto-focusing on that window where we're getting the shape on the SLS.
What
That's-
is happening?
That's amazing.
Johnny's SLS kept picking up a shape in one of the windows, and when I pointed the camera towards that window, the camera actually started to autofocus right on that spot.
Levitation. Whoa, whoa, I heard a noise over there. Just as I panned my camera, I almost thought I saw something.
When it said levitation.
And I turned to pan towards it. And it's like I thought I saw something creeping around that corner. Oh, that freaked me out, man. My heart is racing. Oh, I'm gonna go take a look, though.
He's not doing anything over here. This is so weird, man. I don't even know what's going on exactly.
Late. Yeah, it is late outside. It's late right now. The door's open.
You shut it earlier?
Yeah, I shut it. Look, watch.
I think I have it on camera that it was shut earlier too.
This sensory deprivation was really unlike any other one for me. And the reason is very hard to explain, but when I had the headphones in and I was listening, I kept hearing a voice coming through that was kind of in the undertones of the other voices. And it was actually giving me full sentences, but I was always one channel behind when I was trying to figure out the word, and it was starting to give me a headache. And I'll explain that a little further, what I mean by that. So the spirit box goes through radio stations very quickly, and it's said that a spirit can use words to come through the audio waves and have a voice of their own. So I was right behind it every single time, and I'm not sure if that is what was giving me a headache, trying to figure out what it was saying, or if there was a spirit using my energy for the first time that I ever felt, and that's why I was feeling so drained.
Okay, it's getting really weird now because the same voice keeps coming through, and it's not one I've heard yet.
Who am I talking to?
It says,
Is it
hi,
Hi.
me. It's very clear right now. This is the weirdest thing I've ever. It's right there, but it's like on every channel.
Really? Tell me your name. Who's this voice that he's hearing?
Like it. Oh man, I'm getting lightheaded. But I'm trying to focus so hard. Adam. Oh, it's giving me a headache.
Tell me who you are. If your name is Adam.
Is that a bad thing? Practically.
It's not a bad thing that you want to talk. It's a bad thing that he's getting a headache.
Yeah, it said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What are you doing
It's
here,
so
Adam?
hard to focus. Ace.
I asked you what you're doing here. That
Bradley. It said Peter or Peters.
Now you're just
The
throwing-
last name?
You're just throwing a bunch of names at me.
I heard the beep again.
Malice.
Ooh. I thought I felt that same thing moving. I thought you were moving.
I shuffled a little bit.
Oh, it's giving me a headache.
You want to stop?
Oh yeah. Oh
didn't
Man,
know
it's
what
like
to
I could
say.
hear a voice that was coming through every station, but I couldn't keep track of the words as they were going away. It's like I could figure one out, and then I couldn't get it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Visit.
Visit? It said visit and visitors. Didn't you say visitor
said
one
visitor,
time?
too.
Yeah. I think it said that earlier in the night.
But it's like it was like I couldn't grasp what it was. Like I could
That's
tell
a really cool theory. Like that must feel like what it's like trying to get through. If you're a
yeah, it
spirit.
felt like I was just like I was close to like every time a new word would come through, and it was like on every channel that like the same voice, but it was like I was like it was going too quick. But
Wow.
it felt so strange.
That's a crazy thing that like this has been a crazy night actually.
Jackson.
Jackson?
The last name Jackson. Jackson, Jackson, Jackson. Are you kidding me?
Dude, really?
Look at the tops. Look at the top of that. Jackson.
Jackson.
Jackson down there. Bottom. Jackson.
Oh, on the bottom. And Jackson. Did it say Jackson 3 times?
It said Jackson once through the ovulus. What happened here? Somebody busted this one down.
Oh, that sucks, man.
King. It said King too.
Did it say King?
Through the spirit box in my last session there. What are the chances of Jackson? That's such a that is such a strange last name for out here.
Yeah, nobody really has the name Jackson.
I've never
out here.
met a person with the last name Jackson in person in my life.
Sorry.
Jackson is a really uncommon name from around where we live. If you are watching this and you're from this area, you would know that. And I've actually never even met anybody personally with the last name Jackson. But about an hour ago, Jordan and I were reviewing the footage for the first time since we recorded it, and we realized that the first time the word Jackson came through the ovulus was immediately after I said the word graveyard. The second time we heard it was in an EVP when Jordan immediately walked into that room and closed the door. As soon as the door shut behind him, we heard an EVP of what we think sounds like Jackson. And if you're watching this at this point, we'll have already raised the audio and you'd already have seen and heard what we caught and what we heard tonight. The third time Jackson came through wasn't through the ovulus, wasn't on an EVP, it was on a headstone in the graveyard. It's so crazy to me that this name keeps coming up, and in the moment we didn't even realize it until now, and I'm so excited to go back with this name in our minds and see what we capture next time.
The Union Point Church is not a famous haunted location in Manitoba, but it goes to show that not every haunted location can be found on Google. The story of this haunting exists in the legends told by people of the area and passed through many people by word of mouth until it finally reached us. This quaint little church serves to us as a reminder that, like a spirit, history can live on forever. And as the church carries on the history of Union Point to this present day, it also appears to carry the spirits of its former residents, as well as the unfortunate soul that passed away while seeking refuge inside of it.
If anybody's coming, like, oh man, it's just freaky. It's like something like, oh, graveyards, man.
Jackson.
Peter, is that your name? Whoa. What kind of vehicle are you driving? Whoa.
When that door shut, it freaked me out at first because I had already been getting like really good responses on the Oculus. After asking the spirit at Union Point Church over and over again what its name was, it finally gave us a name through our Oculus, not once but twice. It said Peter. After releasing the episode and informing our source Renee of our findings, she was able to look in her history book and confirm that the man who died in a blizzard at Union Point Church was in fact named Peter Rajitnig. This was an amazing confirmation of our findings, and knowing this, we couldn't wait to go back and try to make further contact with him, at least knowing his name. During our first investigation of Union Point Church, almost immediately after sitting down and talking to Peter before I even knew his name, I was getting very pertinent and very specific responses from the Ovilus as to the circumstances of his death. We are extremely hopeful that we can talk to him again to gather more information about this man and his untimely, horrible demise. We went into this investigation extremely confident that we could have legitimate conversations with Peter and other residents of Union Point that have not passed on. This time we were equipped with specific knowledge about him and other key former residents of the town.
Hey, didn't we see a bear the night we were doing the dialogue for this? That's the night.
Was that the night?
That was the night when we saw the bear.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird coincidence.
For anybody that doesn't know, when we filmed dialogue, we filmed about 40 minutes away, and on our way back from filming dialogue for this one, we saw a bear in the Marchand Bar parking lot. We tried chasing it down with the car.
Yeah, so that's a little bit weird.
Dan.
Dan.
Dan?
Yeah. What was that?
What?
I swear, like I heard something over here. Almost like something sliding.
Really?
Yeah. Peter?
Did you hear that?
That was three knocks.
You nutter.
What did it
You
say?
nutter. What?
What the hell does that mean?
It
Get
says
a
you
light.
nutter.
Grab a light.
Here, I got a flashlight. What does this mean? You nutter.
I have no idea.
Is that just gibberish or is that like
Above.
above? It said above.
Remember we heard. Like,
Yeah, we heard
what if
noises
There's something in there. Shine it up there.
We didn't get a whole lot of activity on the early part of the night, but one really weird thing that happened was that we were hearing all kinds of noises up in the ceiling, and after we heard some knocking in the entrance, the word above came through the oculus, and we took it as that something might have wanted us to go up into the bell tower. Well,
Remember, it sounded like somebody was it sounded like somebody was on the roof before.
Yeah. Well,
Party.
Let's get inside because it's probably making our
if
mics
it wants
go
us to
crazy.
go above, there's no chance.
Well, we can't get up in there either. Could you imagine? That was clear. Now it's going nuts.
Sadness. Yeah, now it's really picking up.
Sadness. Yeah, sadness if you passed away here, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're feeling? Are you feeling sadness?
We didn't feel like we were able to contact Peter on this particular night because we weren't getting any of the same type of responses that might indicate we were speaking with the same spirit as last time. So we decided to move on to try to contact the second of three spirits that we came to talk to on this particular night. And the second of three spirits was Alexander Jackson. Our first investigation here, a name came through our ovulus, which turned out to be one of the best responses we've ever gotten. The name Jackson came through, which seemed insignificant at the time until we visited the graveyard next to the church to conclude our investigation and saw the name Jackson on 3 separate gravestones in a cemetery of only roughly 25 stones. Jackson is a very common name across North America, but in our corner of Manitoba, it's extremely uncommon. We looked into the history books and found information about a man named Alexander Jackson, who was among the first to settle Union Point. Alex Jackson was originally from Perth, Ontario, and after working on the Canadian railways for many years, all the way from Ontario to the Rocky Mountains in British Columbia, he married his wife Alice in Richmond, Ontario in 1888. The Jacksons then made their way to Union Point, Manitoba in late 1889, where they began to farm the surrounding land. They had 6 children named Elizabeth, James, George, Harriet, Mary, and Mabel. Alex and Alice Jackson celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary at Union Point Church and lived in Union Point until they died. The Jackson family is now buried in the cemetery outside of Union Point Church.
That was loud banging.
It was really loud,
I mean,
twice.
you can tell it is windy. It sounds like something's in this corner.
Yeah. SLS?
Oh, buddy.
If you're in that corner, Peter, let us know now. Because we're about to see you if you are.
Do you hear something?
Yeah, I think it's my imagination on that one.
Shine a flashlight there.
What about the window? Does it pick anything up in the window this time?
No.
No?
No? Here, hold this for a sec.
I don't.
Pass me the flashlight. Not picking anything up this time. It's picking you up.
What about by the door?
Holy shit, I thought I saw something in that window. That window. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh. That was definitely a knock from that window. That's like the hugest area I've ever seen it autofocus.
What's going on here? Oh, dude, never mind. Wow. Oh, it's okay. So it is picking up that big thing. So that obviously, for some reason, it picks that up.
That is weird that it's not picking up that window again. That was me. That was me.
Oh my goodness, it scared me. Okay, I'm gonna try and recreate it. Oh my God, there it is. He's there. He's right in
There
between.
he is.
Peter, if that's you, can you make a noise from that door? That's where the knocking was coming.
Yeah.
And then gone. Gone.
That's insane, dude.
That was me.
Why did it say Africa? You think that
It's totally
sometimes
gone.
they just give you nonsense words just to mess with you? Just mess with
Like, I can't make it. What the hell?
Notice.
We did notice you. It's not doing it at all. Oh, no.
It's
that's the
autofocusing
room.
like by the pew. You got anything over there?
No.
No?
Here, no. Seeing the figure in the front entrance between the two doors was probably one of the craziest things that we caught on the SLS camera ever. And that's mostly because that's where all the activity was coming the first night that we were at the Union Point Church. And it's also where most of the activity was coming the second time as well.
I just felt the building move.
Can you tell us how old you were when you died into the device in Jordan's hand?
Anyone from the Jackson family, can you tell me why you're still here? Are you looking after the farmlands? Listen back? Mm-hmm. All right.
I didn't get anything on the Q2.
I just felt the building move.
Right after that, you feel the building move too?
That's when it was.
Did you hear that?
What was that? Just that? Was that
I don't know.
just-
That could have been. Can you tell us how old you were when you died into the device in Jordan's hand?
I just felt the building move. I just felt the building move. You're in the wrong spot. No, there
it
it
is.
was.
What is that?
What is? No, no.
It sounds like something sliding on the floor. It sounds like something like a shoe on like a
Yeah.
basketball court.
The night seemed to change when we began to try to contact the third spirit of the night. Looking further through the history book, we found an interesting story about a Union Point resident named Jack Krevchenko. Jack was convicted of murdering a bank manager in Plum Coulee, Manitoba in 1913. After he was convicted, he escaped his jail cell, most likely because his lawyer, a man named Percy Hagel, smuggled a rope and pistol in during a visit. However, his escape was short-lived. He was captured shortly after and hanged in Winnipeg on July 9th, 1914. We wanted to know more about Jack, so we decided to try to contact him or somebody that might know him.
Okay, let's do a split where you go in the dark here.
You want me to go in the dark?
Or
here?
me, I don't care who. And one of the other person's going in the outhouse.
Okay, well, you can go in the outhouse.
Yeah, I want to go straight darkness.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's go.
You have the K2 meter? Yeah, the K2 meter. Okay. I'm going to
Put in there.
go. Yeah, no kidding. God, that's scary. All right.
Okay. Get that going. And shut the light off. I never know how to shut this light off. It's not that one. Okay, here we go. All right, I want to talk to a guy. I want to know more about a guy named Jack Kravchenkov. Heard that he murdered somebody not too far from here, and he was from Union Point. And the device next to me. Can you say something? Can you tell? Tell me who you are, or if you're here, or if you knew him.
Is there anybody in here with me?
I honestly don't know who we've been talking to tonight or who's causing this activity because you haven't given us much verbal communication with the Oculus or anything. But I want to know if this is Jack or if this is Peter, if it's one of the Jacksons. Just let me know. Just talking to the device next to me.
Evil. Pete?
Starting to hear like knocks and noises all around me again. Very quiet, but I can definitely hear them.
Heard a scream of some sort. If that's you, Jack, or Pete, or the Jacksons, please make yourself clear.
Oh, the door. Oh my God. Is that Jack? Who is that? Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Fuck this, dude. Oh, the door. Oh my God. Is that Jack? Who is that? Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Fuck this, dude. Oh my god. Joy! Fuck. Oh my god, he's fucking locked in. Open it. Dude, the fucking tripod just came flying at me. It was locked. Why were you locked in? That was fucking... Dude, come here. You gotta get in here.
Thought I heard something. Sound like a bang. Oh my god. Jordan! Jesus Christ. Was I locked in there?
It was locked. Why were you locked in?
What the hell? What did you say?
I was sitting there in the dark and I heard the door start creaking open behind me. And I thought that Johnny may have just been walking back into the church, but when I turned around, I didn't see him, which was that was terrifying enough. But when the tripod just came flying at me, that was I just felt sheer terror in that moment. And if you watch the footage again, you will see our K2 meter, which is, it's leaned up against our light on the stage or whatever of the church. It falls over after the tripod comes flying at me, and after I take a few steps back. So I can't explain that by just like me stepping on the ground by the vibrations. It seems like something actually pushed it over after I'd already started walking away.
When I was in the outhouse doing a spirit box session, I heard something going on inside the church. So I quickly stopped the spirit box just to listen and hear what was going on. And shortly after that, Jordan was outside the outhouse yelling my name, which freaked me out. But then I realized that I was locked in the bathroom. I tried breaking out of there. And I personally thought that it was possible that the wind would have knocked the little wooden lock down. But Jordan said that it was super hard to unlock it, so then I was really unsure what was going on.
The tripod. I was sitting here, right there, and the tripod just came flying. I heard the door open. Okay. The door opened a little bit. I was looking at it, and then I heard the tripod move. And then it just flew at me. Oh, I was sitting right here.
Put the K2 next to it. I gotta see that, man.
I'll show you. I caught it on camera.
You fucking sound terrified, man.
I am. I've never seen anything like that.
I wonder if that locked me in from the wind.
Wow, how the wind knocked you in?
I don't know, just flip that thing.
Like, That's the first time something has actually like come at me like that.
Really?
That. I'm freaking out now, dude.
Like you want to get going? Or are you fine if we just do like one or two, like a sensory deprivation? I want to see that. Let me see that for a
Okay.
sec. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have bailed too. That is fucking crazy. Wait, I want to see me too. It's locked?
It was. I didn't even realize. Like I didn't understand why you couldn't get out.
That's fucking crazy.
That's fucked.
Oh, buddy. Now what?
Now what? I don't
Sensory
know.
deprivation?
I
Gotta keep it going. That is crazy. Did you drop the K2? It looked like it got pulled out of your hand.
It fell. I didn't drop it.
It just
It fell. It fell. Yeah. I just remember it falling.
This thing's still recording too. Holy shit. Are you pretty freaked out?
Yeah. Don't really want to do this right now, but
Why?
'cause I don't want to be like sensory deprived after something just like came flying at me.
Whatever, we'll do it and see what happens. At least if something happens, you don't know what's happening. So I want to try and talk to Peter or Jack or any of the Jacksons.
Whoa, that was a really weird low voice.
Is that one of you guys? Can you be more clear?
I see you.
Yeah, I just was hearing something over here. Use his energy. Touch
Don't
him.
start.
Don't start. Why? Hearing rattling at the door.
Look up.
Look up. What is with up? Why do you keep saying up? I keep hearing rattling. Like it is coming from upstairs.
Victoria?
Oh my God.
What the f- is going on?
Holy shit. Grab that light. Oh my God. Okay, if that's you, stop for a little bit. Holy shit. Oh man, hang on. I just need to get my bearings straight, man. That is crazy. Oh man, I have to sit down. My legs are shaking. My knees hurt.
I feel like I don't know. I don't really want to sit down in case I gotta like move, you know?
Holy smokes, man. It's so crazy because I kept hearing rattling coming from this area the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing a whole lot.
Like on the spirit box?
Yeah.
Everything you were saying sounded really freaky to me. With like what I was asking.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't really like answering back. It was just saying things like.
I remember saying look up.
Yeah, and right when you said that, I heard like it sounded like something was rattling over here or up in there. It's like I swear there's something in there. You know what I mean? But how? Maybe you shouldn't go back in. That might be a bad idea. Anything in there?
No, it's still just static.
While Jordan was in his sensory deprivation, I heard movement kind of all over the place, but wasn't really too worried about it, except for the same rattling that I was hearing from the door pretty much the entire time. It just, every now and then it would draw my attention to it, just hearing rattling from, it sounded like the door was moving back and forth on the door frame.
When I was in the sensory deprivation, I didn't really get a whole lot. I wasn't hearing a lot on the spirit box. But like suddenly I just like heard a loud commotion in the front, and immediately I just jumped up and I took the headphones out, and I saw Johnny running towards me.
I was running towards Jordan because I heard like 3 loud knocks, which we had heard a couple other knocks that sounded similar during the night, but these ones were really loud and they were coming from the front door. And immediately after that, I told Jordan to grab the light to come see what was going on here, and then we heard a huge bang that almost sounded like somebody was kicking one of the pews.
That last banging sound was the last of the activity that we caught that night, but we did sit around for another hour afterwards just to take a listen. But after we got nothing, we decided just to pack it up and call it a night. This was an interesting experience because it was in direct contrast to what happened the first time we visited Union Point Church. The first time we got plenty of communication on the Ovilus and not a lot of physical movement around the church, but this time, almost no Ovilus communication and a lot of physical movement. This leads us to believe that we were not in contact with the spirit of Peter this time around. The Jacksons also seemed to be absent, but something seemed to be really angry when we tried to contact the spirit of Jack, the convicted killer from Union Point. We personally don't think that the angry spirit was Jack, because he didn't die in Union Point and his crime took place in Plum Coulee, but rather something was mad that we were bringing his name up, especially in a church. Union Point Church has become one of our favorite places to investigate, not only for the paranormal activity inside of it, but also because of its huge part of Manitoba's history that most have forgotten about. We're proud to be from here and extremely happy to show many thousands of people a glimpse into our part of the world. A part of the world they would most likely see if it hadn't been for us.